A catchy tune. Hey everybody, Philip Shaler here doing my real estate report for April. Market is crazy, unusual, lots of crazy things happening. Let's dive right into the report and share my screen with you here. So today I want to talk about, well, mortgage rates are around 6.7%. With a good lender, you might get a better deal. Calhafa Dream for All Down Payment Appreciation Loan. This is for California. This is an interesting program that started, and 2 weeks into it, it already ran out of money. This tells you that buyers are eager to buy. Low inventory keeps prices stable. 88,000 new listings last week, 25% already under contract. Buyers are lining up at the starting line. They're getting ready. And it's interesting. Let's just see real quick where the market is here. So let's look at this real quick here. So economic data released last week showed that the US economy is losing momentum as the lack of effects of monetary policy tightening slow growth as intended. Retail sales and inflation posted its second straight monthly decline. However, prices remain elevated for core goods and services, which will likely push the Fed to hike rates at their May meeting one last time by another 25 basis points. Consumers adjusted their expectations around inflation, and although still relatively pessimistic overall, their long-term sentiment remains stable. Californians will continue to face inventory challenge besides in 2023, as fewer realtors are listing properties ahead of the usual spring home buying season. Now, this is interesting to me because I think the Feds kind of got burned by their, in my opinion, too late and too aggressive rate hike. And clearly, 2 or 3 banks have suffered greatly because of that, went under. And I think that kind of put a little bit of a break on the Feds to go aggressive again. Because remember, initially they had planned to do another 3/4 basis point. And so if they do another 1/4 basis point in May, we could assume, since inflation has come down a bit, I think it's at 5 or somewhere around there, we could assume that the rate hike may stop. So buyers are definitely lining up. Buyers are interested in buying. As a matter of fact, I showed a property in Santa Monica, or actually previewed a property in Santa Monica for a client of mine for a 1031 exchange. And it's a $2.4 million townhouse. And the first thing the agent told me, said, if you're planning to offer anything below list price, don't even bother. You're wasting your time. Seller will only sell at asking price or higher, or else they will not sell at all. And this is the general mood right now in the market, because we have to remember, property owners have high equity in their home and also a low mortgage. So they're kind of locked in some strange way, because if they sell and then buy something else, it's more expensive. They're in the same boat as buyers are right now. So they're saying, if you don't pay me full price or the price that I want, I'm just not going to sell. And that's kind of the market right now. There's also this particular property was actually off market, and I heard about it. So it's going live probably in a month or two. But anyway, this is the general mood that we're in right now. Now, getting back to, let me just share the screen again. Getting back to the Calhafa deal, which is very interesting to me. And let me just see if I can find it. I have so many things open here. Where is it? No, that's not it. Here we go. So the California Association of Realtors urges state to fully fund California Dream for All Shared Appreciation Loan. Last week, CAR issued the following statement in response. I'll just make it a little bit bigger. Last week, CAR issued the following statement in response to Calhafa's pause on the California Dream for All Shared Appreciation Loan program within 2 weeks of its launch. The California Housing Finance Agency, which administers the loan, opened the program for applications at the end of March, and $300 million allocated of the governor's proposed 222 and 223 budget was exhausted within 2 weeks. Despite the obvious need and demand, the state has stopped providing funds that have been allocated to the program. Now, this is interesting to me because either they don't want you to own homes, or they don't have enough money to pour into the program, which seems a bit strange because it doesn't seem that much money for the state. The California Association of Realtors strongly supports Senate Pro Tem Tony Atkins' California Dream of All Shared Appreciation Loan and strongly advocated for the $500 million that was allocated to the program in 2022 and 2023 state budget. The funding was significantly reduced in the governor's proposed 2023 and 2024 budgets, said CAR President Jennifer Brancini. So this is interesting because you figure, well, why? First of all, the interesting thing is that buyers, smart buyers, took advantage of this immediately. They heard about the program, they rushed in. So what's the deal about it? In Los Angeles County, if you make less than $180,000 a year and your credit score, I believe, has to be at 650, 680 minimum, they give you a 20% down payment if you qualify, and it is a loan. So you go and buy the property, and let's just say it's a $500,000 property. They give you $100,000. That's 20%. Now here's the catch: you have to pay that money back when you sell the house, even when you just change titles. Any change in the title will trigger a sale. Even refinance will trigger a repayment. So you have to pay the $100,000 back, plus you have to pay back 20% of your gained equity. So now some people say, wow, this is not really a great deal. If that is a way to get you into owning a home, then I think it's a great idea. It's a great deal. And I would, as a buyer, I would definitely jump on it. But here's another thing. I contacted Cal Haffa and talked to, I forgot the lady's name. Anyway, she emailed me back. And I asked if it's possible to use that program, the 20% down payment, and if a buyer has already saved up 20%, if they can put in 40%. Because think about it. If you put down 40%, even at 6.5 interest rate, your monthly payment goes down quite a bit because you're only paying off almost half of the price of the house. The answer I got back is that the maximum allowed is 30%. So I'm assuming, again, you would have to figure that out and verify that with a lender, and I guess it's a Cal Haffa lender, qualified lender. But the idea is, what I would suggest is, if you qualify for that 20%, for those 20% down payment, and if you have 20% saved up for a down payment, which a lot of buyers do if they're serious about it, right? Then the maximum you can put down is 30%, so 20 from Cal Haffa, 10% from you close escrow, and then you take the remaining 10% that you have saved up and paid it straight towards the principal, then your payment will come down too. So that would be a workaround of a creative idea of getting into a lower payment that you can afford. Anyway, so that's the kind of idea about the Cal Haffa, and I'm not sure why they stopped it, but I think they should definitely refund that particular program because I think it's a great idea. Now let's look at inventory. So inventory, 66,000 new listings, 25% already been under contract. The other source said 88,000 new listings. Still, it's not a lot. There is a discrepancy there. Price reductions have come down. Buyer demand keeps up. Price reductions tick down 29.8%. And this is what I was referring to earlier. The agent in Santa Monica just said either full price or don't even bother. And this is kind of like the situation they're in because it's low inventory. And sellers still have this idea of, let me just find it real quick because there was an article about that. Let's see here. So sellers still have sky-high expectations. 43% expect to get their asking price. This is up 20% from 2022. 37% expect to have an offer within a week compared to 33% in 2022. 35% expect buyers to be willing to forego contingencies like inspections and appraisals to make the deal compared to 30% in 2022. I personally would never do that. I would never forego the contingency, especially inspection, but some people do. And if you do forego the appraisal contingency and it appraises less, then you have to come up with the difference in cash. 34% expect an all-cash offer. Well, up from 22% from 2022. And like I mentioned earlier, about 29% of all transactions right now are cash across the country. That's what I've been reading. 31% expect to get more than their asking price. So sellers are still in their COVID high, era. They expect to get more money, but you have to also remember they have one benefit. The sellers have one big benefit: there's not enough inventory. So if the demand is high and inventory is low, they can kind of not ask for whatever they want, because if they go too high, then the property will go stale. It'll stay on the market for 2, 3, 4 months. Currently, it's about between 30 and 40, 51 days. So properties are not selling super fast, but sellers are very adamant about getting the price. And 20% expect a bidding war to take place, so compared to 32% in 2022. Now, there are some bidding wars. I talked to an agent in New Jersey and an agent in Florida just 2 weeks ago. They had a property, $750,000 value, and they had multiple offers, bidding wars. There was one in Orange County, also around the $800,000 range, sold in a week and had 6 offers. So here and there in certain pockets, you do have definitely bidding wars, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Mortgage rates, as I mentioned earlier, are around 6.7%, 30-year fixed. Again, if you have a good lender relationship, they might be able to, or you might be able to buy rates down. I don't know if an ARM would make sense, an adjustable rate mortgage, which basically would be where you're locked in 5 or 7 years with the current rate, and then either you can refinance if you want to lock in at 6.7. Not sure. Again, there is possibly another quarter rate hike. The Los Angeles housing market is somewhat competitive. Homes in Los Angeles receive 3 offers on average and sell in around 51 days. The median sale price of a home in Los Angeles was $978,000 last month, down 4.6% since last year. The median sale price per square foot in Los Angeles is $613, down 4.8% since last year. That's interesting, I think. We've been through that. Now, at the moment, this is sort of like what's going on. The sweet spot here seems to be between around 6 would be if the rates drop to 6. There's a chance by the end of the year that the rates will drop. Actually, I believe it was Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac who forecasted last year that the rates will come down to 4.5. If that would be the case, even if it comes anywhere near 5, you will have a lot of competition. If you're in the market to buy, you will have a lot of competition when the rates go down, because it's already, just with the CalHFA program, running out of funds in 2 weeks shows you that there is a strong buyer demand. Now let's quickly look at Malibu market here. These are just where I have clients: Calabasas, Malibu, and Santa Monica. So Malibu market is interesting. So the median price went down 30% since last year. So 4 million, around the 4 million mark. Home sales are 6, so there's down 73.9%. So they went down quite a bit. Active listings are 113. So active listings went up, but it just hadn't sold. Market competition, median days on market 39, sales to list price 94. So there are some price reduction. Again, it's a different market, much higher list prices, and percent of active listings with reduced prices 28%. So there's 28% price reduction. Let's look at Calabasas. Calabasas, for example, is the median price went down as well, 9.2% to 1.76 million. Home sales since last year went down 45%. There's only 11. Active listings are 40, which is up. Again, it's interesting. So listings are up, but they're not selling as quickly. And this is probably due to the fact that the sellers are just not budging with the price. Median days on market 6, that's pretty fast. Sales to list price 100%. So really very few price reductions, and percent of active listings with reduced prices 25%. So there are some price reductions there. Let's look at Santa Monica. The median price is down 35% since last year, 3.7 million for the median price. The home sales are 19, so actually they have an increase, and active listings also 92% increase, so 48. Median days on market 35, sales to list price 97.8, and percent of active listings reduced prices 20%. So there were some price reductions there. Again, this is a very high price market. Let's see what's here. So never mind, this is not something here. This is something I want to show you, is from California Association of Realtors, the California latest market data, how the market is doing. So in all over California state, it's 368 closed sales per day. Pending sales per day is 229, and new listings per day is 181. Again, this is statewide. What realtors are saying: closed sales are 39.3%, entered escrow 38% at 38.4%, and listed properties 41.0, so that's 0.7 down. What realtors thinks will happen is sales will be up 54.2%, prices will be up, and listings will be up, but less than the year before. So it's interesting because, again, with the prices being as they are and not budging is really it's an issue because that plagues buyers, but it's just the way it is. There's not much you can do about it. Now, quickly, I'll talk about the EULA measure, which is interesting. This is a new tax, and a lot of people believe that it only affects the rich. It doesn't. It affects any building that is over $5 million, and this is in Los Angeles City, for example. So 4% tax you have to pay on top of the regular tax, sales tax, of the property valued 5 million to 10 million, and above 10 million, it's 5.5%. Not sure if that is a good idea. I think there's a lot of attorneys fighting this right now in court. It's going to take a while. They might reverse it, they might not. This was packaged to be for funding the homeless prevention and also affordable housing. The other issue I see, though, is it might actually backfire, because what if developers don't build anymore in the city because they don't want to sell, they don't want to build an apartment building and have to sell it for $5 or $6 million and then have to pay 4% extra. So it might actually backfire, and we may have less new buildings coming up, which we desperately need. So it looks, at least. Anyway, this is my report for April. If you have any questions about real estate, please feel free to contact me at 310-918-2260. If there's any real estate agents who are interested in joining our brokerage, give me a call as well. This is a great time to switch because we have opportunities where you can keep more money for yourself, and you can create leveraged income where you get almost like passive income. And in times like this, is very beneficial. Again, if you have any real estate related questions, please call me at 310-918-2260. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you.